Folks, I'm going to give you the Nucanoe Flint trolling motor rundown here real quick, because I did not find that much stuff on the internet to help me out with this. Specifically on the Flint, a lot of stuff for like the Unlimited and the Frontier, but not a lot for the Flint. I realize it's a smaller boat, maybe a trolling motor is not the right move with it, but I'm gonna just give you the quick rundown anyways. And I will admit, on this whole project, I probably lacked a little bit of foresight. My brothers and other people were very helpful, but I definitely would have changed a little bit of the order that I did things in. So I'll just give it real quick. Motorguide Xi3 with the spot lock, got the pinpoint GPS. Off of that, I have an Anderson plug, which I guess I'll just unplug this quickly. They're kind of tough, hang on. There we go. Anderson plug, very reliable, easy to install, easy to work with. There's not a male or female end. If you have an Anderson plug of a brand, it fits in the other Anderson plug of the brand, so that's helpful. This is the only spot I decided to drill in the hull. As you can see, it's below this track mount on the left side of the kayak. Obviously could have went with the right, but it's just how my battery setup was. The left side worked better for me. I went with a Yak Attack. I think they call it a through hull wiring mount. And I left this one really short just because I have a lot of extra wire from my trolling motor. And the reason I didn't clip that is just in case I ever switch kayaks and for whatever reason I just need extra wire. It's just kind of ugly. It's going to be coiled up at the front of the bow of the kayak, but that is what it is. I did put a little bit of silicone around here. I guess it's a waterproof sealant. I just put it on the top side just in case it splashes or things like that. I put a little bit on the back side of the plug as well when I put this in, but I didn't get any on the wires just in case I do need to pull this in and out. It'll be tough and give some resistance, but I'll be able to do it. So that's the whole front. Anderson plug to the 8-gauge wire to another Anderson plug, which goes to the trolling motor. I'm just gonna jump all the way to the back now because there's nothing in the middle that's different or unique. A classic milk crate here with some, Ryder Dairy out of Wisconsin. I believe it says, "Thou shalt not steal." So a little tip pointer for you guys out there today. I'm running a amped outdoors 100 amp hour battery. Now I will admit this is bigger than what I would prefer because I just don't like any sort of additional weight in the Flint because it's a smaller boat. I'm gonna downgrade to a 60 amp for my brother. We're just gonna swap batteries. I think he'll give me a little cash for the upgrade. But there is a monster 100 amp battery that fits perfectly in a milk crate though. And one thing I love about this setup right now, this is a pretty crude, rod holder milk crate setup. But these straps right here, which have the T-bolts, which go on the track mounts, I actually got this off of a Nucanoe Pursuit, and I just kept it for my Flint, and I run it from one track mount through the crate, through the handles of the battery, through the other side of the crate, onto the other track mount. As you can see right there, tighten that up. And it's actually, really snug. I could lift the whole boat by that if I wanted to. If I did flip over, technically the battery would stay attached to the strap. It would really weigh down the back of the kayak if I flipped over, but obviously that's something I'm not trying to do. And it does just give me some peace of mind that my battery is secure, and that's all I'm really looking for. I'm not gonna take this out anywhere super crazy, super dangerous yet, but we do have some security with there and even a little space if I wanted to, put a few bottles of water. I know a small tackle box would fit back here if I wanted to. We'll see what I end up with. Moving on, so we got the ring terminals from the battery running back here to a circuit breaker. I just bought this off Amazon. I could put the link in the comments if that's what you're looking for. Just got the two, standard terminals connecting it. Pretty nice, 50 amp, easy to use circuit breaker. Really easy install, really easy to use. And that is running to a Marinko plug. And maybe the most interesting decision that my brother encouraged me to do was drill my other through hull wiring location through the plate back here rather than a hull spot. I had picked out like some area around in here on the back, but the Flint I think is just too narrow, too thin on these back sides, because if I were to put this whole plug in there, it wouldn't even be able to have a wire come out the back because it would fill up this whole gap and you run out of space really fast. Not only that, but coming straight out of this back plate, obviously super easy accessibility. You can just take the plate off and you're good to go. Let me, I guess let me just pop this fuse off. That'll shut down the battery. Show you what this looks like quickly. This is just a 3-prong connection, but I've seen guys use 2-prong ones that they just can't handle the electric current and they almost melt. If anyone has an original Nucanoe Flint, you'll know that this is just a smooth black plate normally. And all I did was open this up and connect my wires onto the back side of the, what I'll call the female end, or what we call the receptacle end of this Motorguide plug. So it wasn't difficult to wire this stuff. You just got to have a game plan about when to pull through the hull, when to attach the ends of this stuff, because I did it kind of in a bass-ackwards way that it could have been better. That's all I'll say. I learned a lot doing it, but this connection I think is really solid. It does have like a little twist to lock feature on this, which is great. And if I really screwed up this plate, I could always buy another one rather than trying to repair my hull. But that just runs up to the Anderson plugs way at the front that I showed earlier. I'm happy with how it turned out. This locks in. Still have a little bit of dry storage down there if I need it. A little waterproof cover there. It's technically not on a vertical surface that they would recommend because water could technically collect up here, but it's elevated, it's got a cover. I'm content, I'm happy with how it came together. Let's see here, do this one-handed. Let's go. There are 3 plugs, but there's only one orientation that works because one of those is a slightly different size than the other. So find the one that fits, which I'm pretty sure is this one. And then a quick clockwise rotation actually locks that in and you can't pull it out. You have to rotate it slightly back and then it pulls out. Kind of nice. Just a little bit more security. So that's everything regarding to the wiring for the trolling motor. There are a couple other things I run on here like a fish finder and all that, but I just wanted to focus on the trolling motor side of things. I do have a nice little 360 swivel seat. I'm happy that there's storage still a little bit behind the seat, so you know you can spin all the way around easily. Not that I ever do that actually. I'm glad there's still a little storage left in my crate. Wiring all to the rear, not going to get in my way at all. Little extra longer cord up there that, you know, maybe I will actually trim that in the future, but for now I'm happy. It's kind of nice the Flint's a shorter boat because I can sit in here and actually just lean forward and I could tap this head up. Because all you got to do is, you know, pull that release up there after you get like a rope or something attached to it. And this head needs very little, what should I say, persuasion to just start tipping and falling in. It probably will do it on its own. But if it did need a little bit of extra oomph, I could just give it a little tap with my hand. So kind of nice having the trolling motor on a smaller boat. I guess throw any questions in the comments. Thanks for listening. Hopefully this helped anyone else that's trying to wire or get a trolling motor on their Flint. I think the Flint is just the perfect boat to switch between having, you know, no motor on it and just paddling yourself or floating down a river, but then maybe you're in big water or some heavy current and you want the trolling motor on, and then, you know, you got that option. So I think I'm going to run this boat for a while. I'm really happy with how the project turned out, and thanks for watching.